it's a good idea to have a few little repair items that make you extend your trip and continue that vein of self-sufficiency. Rather than just gathering a huge amount of kit, it's probably worth thinking about what needs fixing or what might need fixing. So firstly, we've chosen plastic boats, so it should be fairly minimum. However, a couple of the old footrest bolts on Ollie's boat leaked, so we've got some surf wax and mushed that up, squidged it round, especially in the cold water, dried out, and has now sealed it up quite nicely. Worse than that, we might get a split in one of the boats, so some epoxy putty, some roofing felt, sort of flash band, and the ubiquitous duct tape. Each of us carry a roll of duct tape for multiple uses. Other things on the boat, rudders are obviously quite exposed, and it'd be nice that they could keep working, so we have brought with us a rudder repair kit, which is just a range of sort of little shackles and pins, so that we can just sort something out as the need arises. Hatches, yeah, very easy for hatch covers to blow away. They are tethered on, but they can perish, especially in lots of sunlight. Normally it's not an issue because you can just put a bit of plastic on it and a bit of elastic, and that'll get you home. Obviously at 3 weeks you perhaps want something a bit more sturdy. So we actually brought some spare hatch covers, especially the big oval hatch at the back, because that's very hard to sort of sort out. So we brought a spare hatch cover for the back. Another thing that's useful is an airbag. It can double up as a hatch sealer or footrest, whatever you might need.
So this is how you want to show us that, Simon? So
you can see in the light there, like you see a line of teeth marks, like which must be the bear prying the lid off my boat. And here, the pesky things have put a big hole in my lid, which I've only just spotted today, so I've had a bit of a leaky hatch for a few days. So I'm just going to shoe glue that and see if I can stop it leaking.
It's always worth making sure your hatch covers are tied on. The elastics can often work loose, and probably the main hatch cover you're going to lose is probably going to be a day hatch. You normally can see your front hatch, and if it's not on, get somebody to put it on. The oval one's normally quite hard to get on, so it normally goes on, but because you might be reaching behind getting sandwiches or food out, you might not put it back on again properly, and then if you go in rough water you might lose it. So a piece of kit possibly to carry as a spare, which I always carry, is just a spare spray hatch cover. Yeah, and then I can solve that problem if somebody loses it, it hasn't been tied on, it's been lost during the day.
Other things that might need sorting out, we've got paddles, so we made the decision early on to bring a set of split paddles obviously with us. Moving on from that then is obviously personal kit. Spray decks, again another vital piece of kit. We brought neoprene decks, so we did in fact bring a spare neoprene deck with us as well. However, we brought some neoprene glue as well, just in case. It'd be a shame if all of us had some tears in our spray decks. Sewing kit, yeah, variety of uses, both tents and otherwise, and there's some repair patches there as well. Some sailmaker's twine, sailmaker's needles also. Finishing off, just little other things we like to carry in the repair kit. Zip lube, make sure your dry suit is lubricated on the zip well, otherwise it'll tear or come undone. And it is also useful for the tent, because the zips tend to dry out quite a lot. Multi-tool, again self-explanatory, variety of uses, pair of pliers. Fire starter, just a steel and flint. A little torch, however, it's nice to think we don't actually need it in this part of the world. And some excellent PVC or electrician's tape, great for blisters and taping little things up like that. So as a passing, I just like to say to you, just think about what might go wrong, you know, so whether it be boats, paddles, people, kit, And then you move on obviously to tents and stoves. We've also brought a stove repair kit with us because heaven forbid you couldn't heat up your noodles at some point.